This interview was allegedly conducted in some California hotel. It was like a vlog format, which I actually kind of appreciated. It felt raw. It felt like they were both on the run, and it's like, bro, we got to get this interview now before we both get the knocked the fuck out of here. So like that was dope.
And then fucking out of the blue, he's wearing a Klansman outfit and then
Oh,
using the
correct.
F
Yeah,
word.
thank you for giving the
Yeah.
context. Correct. Yes, yes, yes.
So as they're like setting up the interview, there it's very, innocent banter. Where should I put the chair? You're gonna stand up here, blah blah. Then out of nowhere, this nigga pulls out a Nazi chain, Klan outfit, and then says the F
Sean
word.
Joe, remember he opens the door in a Sean John t-shirt.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
He's
opens the
wearing
door.
a
Oh,
Diddy.
okay, Sean John. Yeah. And then he
Yeah.
uses the F word like every other sentence. And for those who are confused, we're not talking about, you know, the word that means sex. We're talking about the one that rhymes with maggot. And it was like overused to the point where
It was
it felt
overused.
performative. Like,
Very performative.
let me make people angry. And or it's the same thing when people say nigga a little too much. I'm like, are you trying to offend or like prove something like
Prove.
that you're
Yeah.
cool or
Usually
not
when
that thing?
I feel like whenever I hear someone use the N-word too often, it's like you're trying to convince me something right now.
Right.
Like you have
Yeah.
black friends, you have black descent, something. But like
Yeah.
whatever's happening, stop. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. And I have a friend who's like a huge fan of Kanye and some of the crazy shit he says too, racist, whatever. But even he was like kind of like, what are you doing? Like, is this a performative thing? So you seem edgy and are like just trying to attack every protected group of people
Yeah.
to become as hated as you possibly can. And it seems like he just wants to be villainized so bad for some reason. I don't really
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And it just bothered me because I feel like there is no motive besides I want attention. Like in the past, I'm like, oh, he might be fighting with this executive, or he really does feel like he's blackballed for this reason. But now it's just like anyone could fucking do what he's doing. I could go outside, wear the most offensive shit, and then sprinkle in some truths here and there about stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you begin to nod your head yes. And then the trick is after you not while you're nodding your head yes, he'll throw in some crazy shit and you'll kind of like nod a little bit, but you're like afraid to fully stop. Then before you know, you agree to everything this nigga said by the end of the video if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So that's kind of how I felt about it. I wasn't offended, but I was like, dude, what are you
You weren't offended by
this is an act.
the KKK outfit?
No, I'm just like, this is like I felt like I was looking at a homeless person. Like, if a
Mm.
homeless person calls me a nigger or something, I'm like, dog, you don't even know I'm a fucking being in front of you. Like you're just staring into space, probably listening to 100 voices at once. Like
Mm.
you have no idea what's going on, and your motives cannot affect me because you don't even know what you're doing. That's the kind of like how I felt about it. I'm like, this guy's just a joke.
Yeah, and the point you made about sprinkling in truths, I think that's a great description, bro, because there are things in between, like the stuff with the kids, right? Like, dude, how do I have joint custody if I can't even like put my daughter in a video because I want to put my daughter in a video, right? Like
Right.
stuff like that. You're like, all right, that kind of makes sense, you know? But then it's like he shits on Virgil. And it's like, bro, like even academics was like, bro, like, why do you talk about the dead like this? And he's like, because I'm evil.
Evil. Yeah.
But then he's like laughing. And I'm just like, and then I think even academics was like, bro, like, no, you're not. Like, which one is it? Kind of a thing. Yeah, dude, again,
Yeah.
it was odd, bro. It was odd. I get it wasn't a hard interview to get through. Um, but it's almost like this is just the version of Kanye we have right now, right? Like, because again, it's like it's also very contradictory to like other interviews of him, right? Where he's shitting on Drake, shitting on Diddy, shitting on everybody, and then it's like, nah, nah, nah. I fuck with Puff. I've always fucked with Puff. You know, he's the craziest one. Now I'm the craziest one. It's just like, what, bro? Like,
Then he'll shit on
how did
like
we get
Ty
here?
Dolla Sign and all these other random people for like either
Giving
saying
in?
what he thinks too
Yeah.
much is and not defending him. And it just seemed I'm like, how do you even have anyone in your circle who fucking trusts a word you're saying? Because he'll say stuff that makes sense and be offended by certain things. Like I think Jim Jones in the PDF comment. Apparently, Jim Jones didn't know how to
Oh, bro,
create a
that was
PDF.
I was dying
Yeah,
laughing, bro. I was dying. Yo. He's like, I was more offended by
yeah,
this man not being able to send me a PDF as opposed to a meme coin scam for $2
right.
million, bro. Like that was
And then like that'll be a valid point. You'll be laughing your ass off. You'll say that's true. Kanye's like unintentionally hilarious, and then 2 seconds later he'll be like, "All Jews deserve to die," and then you're like, "Wait, what?" Like
what?
I
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
agreed with you 2 seconds ago, and now you're just tugging on my fucking like heartstrings, trying to get me to feel like you're saying something that makes sense, and then the next second, the most offensive shit, and you're just like,
The
how?
most offensive and dude, but he also felt comfortable calling a lot of like people we would think were like again, Jim Jones is a lot of things. Calling him an F word, I was like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
this is like yo. And again, he was going off on like former friends, like the Jerry Lorenzos, the Don C's of the world. Again,
Mm.
using that slur against Virgil, who's not even alive. I was like, bro, this is again, no matter my fondness for using that in like day-to-day language as like a a nonchalant jab,
Yeah, yeah.
using that against like people you actually fuck with because you're saying it in a way of hate was like that part was like, all right, my God. Like it felt very performative though, right? Because I think even he made a joke about like you can't blurt that out because then this whole interview is gonna be like fucking 2 minutes long, right? You have
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
so yeah,
Well, for me, like
it was a lot.
when I've been in a rage, I feel like the F word stings a lot more than calling someone a bitch. So I guess that's why for me, like it doesn't feel playful. It's like the equivalent of suck my dick or something.
Oh, it's definitely in the realm of suck my dick, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's where I was like,
But suck my thing for maybe like I feel like the issue with like like suck my dick SMD is like you can say that though in rage and say you're talking to someone, your boy or whoever, right? It doesn't mean you're gonna drop everything and start swinging on each other, right? It's like,
uh,
yo, suck my dick, bro. Like, get out of here with that shit, you know, right? Or like, yo, this guy's such an F word right now. Like, what's going on? Whereas I
uh,
think like the way he was saying it though was like, no, I'm ready to die for this. It's just
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
like what's going on?
I mean, Fat Joe said he claims in New York, suck my dick is like uh stabbing words. Like if someone says that to you, you have to get stabbed like
Well,
on the spot.
maybe like a an op or like someone you
Yeah.
don't know. But
Like
I'm
an
not talking about
actual fight
yeah,
ensuing.
like if you're talking about
Yeah.
people you know, not even your boy, but like if it's just like your boy brought a boy, you're
True,
like, okay,
true.
suck my dick out, get out of here with this shit, bro. You know, like
True, true.
so it's like that context. But yeah, dude, it was interesting, bro. Like, and I think to critique the overall interview at all, and I wanted to ask you this about academics' role in it. I do think it's interesting, and I think I forgot that academics had that in that show on Complex, the Everyday Struggle, right, where he did interview people for like a living
Yeah.
because he did feel like he was stuttering a lot. And like it almost felt like his first time interviewing, but I wonder like if we give him grace because of like the context of it. Like this guy's probably being sporadic and like all over the place and like reaching out to you and saying, yo, show up here. If we were meant to believe him, we'd take it for face
Yeah.
value. And then he pulls out in a fucking KKK outfit. You're like, what? I have to do this, like so like I don't know, but it just felt like also like I was hoping that academics would get more comfortable sooner in the interview
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it did feel like it felt like you and I were interviewing Kanye at times, as far as like holy shit, it's Kanye West, and maybe he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
has that aura, that God thing, and you're just like, bro, this is my fucking idol. Like, how the fuck am I here? And that's also fair, but I think Kanye was distracting enough. The KKK thing was distracting enough. It being like a vlog was distracting. And then also, like, academics felt like he was just super giddy and nervous and stuttering when he was asking
Yeah.
these questions.
No, that's a very fair point. I felt the same. I've heard people online. Wayno even said academics seem nervous. And I think there is part of it, from what I understand, academics is always admired Kanye. He's even said Kanye has a much better catalog than Drake.
Yeah, I think he even said in the interview this is that he considers Kanye the greatest artist, greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying they think, you know, Academics is a closeted Kanye stan, and
Mm.
the Drake stuff is just like for performance. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was just intimidated by his presence. But I do think the unpredictability factor of it, and the fact that he had like 45 minutes and had to go to Japan immediately and all this other shit, he's probably like, I don't want to say something that pisses him off, or like, how am I gonna get to the questions I want to get to when this nigga's wearing a fucking black hood and I can't even see his eyelids, and like know if he's pissed off at certain things. Like I think all of it was just so spontaneous. He probably, I feel like anyone who's like in presentation mode would be thrown off. And I can imagine
Yeah.
if one of our interviewers like all of a sudden put on a KKK hood or some shit, we'd be so confused and like wondering whether or not we should call him out or just run with it. Like
Yeah,
I'm
dude. So I was
sure.
gonna ask you that. Do you think because again, academics also isn't two guys who struggle to get, hundreds of views on YouTube, right? He's
Yeah.
massive, right? So do you think because he's so massive as far as his platform, he pulls up to that? Do you think he should be like, you know what, bro? I'm not doing this.
Academics.
Yeah.
Um, do I think he should have done
Yeah,
that?
like do you think like is there like some kind of moral code as a non-insane black man that you know what, bro? Like you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not gonna propagate this kind of performance when it comes to that because I don't fuck with that.
I mean, I don't think if he had done that, I would have respected it, but I feel like from a journalism aspect, it's fine to give people a platform as long as you challenge them. Like I've watched interviews with actual KKK members, and
That's true.
sometimes it's nice to just get an insight into how they think, why they think certain ways, and challenge them. And I've heard stories of in instances of people um, challenging KKK members, and they get caught in hypocrisy or realize their thinking is irrational, and it just creates a dialogue that could be helpful. Um, and also, I think we know Kanye's like, I guess from a publicity standpoint, it's not the healthiest thing to encourage it, but at the same time, I think we're all curious. And then two, it's just so fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know
It's
if
so
I'm
ridiculous,
gonna
bro.
take it seriously. Like as soon as he's putting on the outfit, I'm like, I had to check the calendar. I'm like, is Halloween next week? Because this shit is retarded. Like,
Yeah.
I just, I don't think anyone truly thinks Kanye is on any sort of mission that is gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, this is the issue with like insane people that he's so good though at speaking and again, he is like all over the place, obviously, Kanye West. However, he's so passionate about it that there's even moments that again, like you get caught like, all right, I guess, like that thought. Because even like I think either academics challenged him or something, but he was talking about like the Lucian Grange part of this and like
Yeah.
how these guys all make money off all of us and they profit from our violence. But now, God forbid that like I'm talking about the violence against their people, I'm the enemy. But you guys can profit off the violence to my people. So no, I'm gonna wear your violence against your people front and center. So like
Yeah.
again, two wrongs don't make a right. So I can easily dismiss that comment. But like I can see how a lot of people can be like, well, what else do you have to say? Because
Right.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
in that part, you almost like in a weird way, like sympathize with him, which is insane. But like
Yeah.
the way he said that in that little like minute moment was like almost like he truly believed it. So that's where you're like, bro, like, do you actually believe this? Which I think was like, again, he said so many wild shit, and then the way he laughs that you're like convinced, all right, bro, this is all
Yeah.
jealousy. You want to be the guy that we're all talking about, right? Like, I don't even know how many views that one officially got, but I know it's insane. Um, But there was moments where you're like, damn, like, does he really believe this? Because that would be scary.
Right. But then this is where like I feel like those who are predisposed to be conspiracy theorists and shit, like you just have to regurgitate the same talking points we've always talked about that are technically true. And then you get to pick and choose
Yeah.
examples that support it. And then all of a sudden you're Mr. Know It All and every nigga on the planet has inside information. Like in this case, like like we'll talk about profiting off trauma. Every time a rapper dies, we're like, oh man, the label's profiting off death. Like we shouldn't support this artist for this and that. And then we're fucking complicit 2 days later when that same murderer drops a banger about fucking Crip walking on his ops graveyard or whatever. And then Kanye features on it. Or like it'll be shit like that. And I'm like, dog, like you had a song with Chief Keef and all these other people and supported this beef or against this person and want to end their career and do all this shit. But now all of a sudden, everyone wants to kumbaya and like fight the white man. But then you're gonna do a deal with him next week. And I just feel like it anytime shit like this happens where like a celebrity goes quote unquote woke or conspiratorial, um, it's always like self-centered. It's always billionaires who don't actually give a fuck about anybody. And then they fool the public into thinking they're on our side when at the end of the day, it might be some grudge they have with like two fucking executives or something that are fucking them over and maybe a
Yeah.
lot of other people.
Specifically, like
But they're
you.
trying to be like,
Like,
yo, yo, yo. And everybody, like, blah, blah, Lucian owes me $50 million. Like, fuck him. Like, the
yeah.
white man's doing this and this. But meanwhile, Kanye's just mad because he couldn't, his card declined when he was trying to buy a yacht or some shit.
Yeah. So again, dude, I feel like we speak about him every single week or every other week when he has these antics. So like, are we putting it like just to the fact that he's a jealous now middle aged rapper who's not in the spotlight 24/7 is just trying to figure out a way to keep that attention on him? Because I can see that, but I feel like this is also getting to a level now which is disturbing and scary because again, like he says he doesn't give a fuck, come at me, whatever. But like, bro, like it feels like it's getting to a point where it's not just, oh, Kanye being Kanye. Like this stuff
Yeah, yeah.
feels like real and heavy in like a different kind of way.
No, it's getting to a point where like if I was like I don't want to put the energy out there, but if I was bothered by a lot of these things, I feel like before, I feel like now it's at a level where like if it's on site, if I see you, like I might actually want to off you.
Something.
So because it's just it's beyond joke now. Now it's like it's almost like he's encouraging people to try to do something to him, and then
Yeah.
if that happens, guess what? That individual is not going to be in trouble. People are going to say, fucking Illuminati took him out because he knew the
Yeah.
truth. So yeah, he needs to be careful because now he's treading in crazy ass waters with KKK and the Nazi shit, and that stuff is gonna touch a lot more personally than there's a lot of Jewish music execs. Now you're basically there's Holocaust survivors, fucking people whose great grandmother and fathers were probably hung by the KKK and shit.
Hmm.
But when you're playing around with actual trauma, like you better be prepared for what comes with that.
Yeah. Your points about, yeah, when that's a great point, bro. Cause like we're talking about actual trauma for people who, again, are very much embedded in all of our lives, right? Like a lot of Jewish people came to America looking for freedom, like escaping the Holocaust. Like that's embedded in like what we grew up into. I remember going to Jewish museums as a kid, right? So like we're always aware of that trauma. So now you're kind of making light of it in a very weird way, and then also making light of it because Cardi didn't feature you in his fucking album.
Right.
It's like, bro, what?
It'll like segue to the most it'll be like something super deep, like by his standards. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're mad that fucking Jay-Z didn't wave to you at the Grammys or something. It'll be like
He didn't go.
go
He
from
didn't come to your
serious to
wedding.
trivial. Yeah. Like the most basic shit. And I just like this has to be a stand-up special or something.
Dude, and the fact that he, dude, again, I was mad at myself for laughing, but the way he laughs in between some of the wild shit he was saying, I was like, bro, this is,
Right.
bro, just say it's a comedy special that we don't know about, and like I'll be more like I'll tune in some more. Like
Right.
it's when I think you're actually being serious is when I get a little bit nervous and like, man, I don't even want to even hear this because I don't want to nod, sub unconsciously being aware that I'm nodding and agreeing with certain things, and then like again, I get tricked into. But bro, the J. Cole show was hysterical to me. The the Kendrick stuff was, I mean, not funny, haha, but like I was like, oh, I felt a little bit like that. You know what I mean? Like, there was moments of it though. I was the Jim Jones meme coin thing was hysterical, bro. Like
Yeah.
I was like, bro, because I think we even spoke about it on the pod like 2 episodes ago. I was like, bro, now Jim Jones is a popular guy again. Like, how the fuck did that happen? You know?
Mm.
But it makes sense if he's like scamming these guys, like
Right. Yeah.
so like, oh bro, like that Jim Jones thing was like, I think the funniest moment for me. I was like, bro, that's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Same.
He couldn't send me a PDF with pictures, so
Yeah.
fuck him. Like
No, that's hilarious. And that's something I think everyone could like resonate with. Like there's moments where we were pissed off at somebody not being able to do the simplest thing, but then again, transition, like I'm pretty sure after that, all of a sudden he's fucking talking about Hitler and shit. So
yeah,
it's like he's too um scatterbrained for
yeah,
me to even truly assess what his point is. Like I can respect someone for having a difference of opinion, but if you have fucking 50,000 opinions, I don't know where to start in my assessment of you. All I can do
yeah.
is call you crazy and um attention hungry at that point.
Agreed. So again, let's pray for him. Pray for the people he offended. But if you guys haven't yet, again, it's an interesting watch. So go check out the academics and Ye interview. It's all over YouTube.